Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Cloister of the Dice. I am your one and only gaming monk, better known as Mildra, and with me I have four of my good brothers and sisters. We have good sister Aurelia, good sister Abyss, good brother Wu, and good brother Captain. We are back once again to after revealing that the Lord of the Vampires was once known as Pietro. Because it would have been a little bit obvious if he was named Tepes. And fortunately, we don't have anyone named Adrian. But we left things off after you guys had headed all the way up the mountain to Tapsancad, only to kind of find out that you were close to one of your objectives, but didn't quite realize it. And along with ranking up on professions and getting the benefits therein, which some of that we will delve into in due time, but for the time being, like I said, we last left off when you guys had through Hawthorne, gotten a bit of the background of Dracula, and gotten the name of the person who had turned him. And since Captain asked this before we went live, and I will note this as a outside thing, this is not an issue of you kill the person who turned them, you kill all of their sires. That's not how it works in this universe, and it is definitely not how it would work, even if it was, because as was mentioned last week, by this point, Dracula has invented a whole new strand of vampirism. So as a result, his particular form of it, which was an attempt to try and make one that didn't have the weaknesses of normal vampires, already separated him from the man who turned him. But after a brief moment of resupplying, you all head out of Tapsancad and have to make the perilous journey down the mountain, which, fortunately for you, is going down the mountain is a lot easier than going up it. There are paths to allow it to go down more easily. It also means you don't have to worry about surprise avalanches or anything like that. Because you're effectively using the route that the locals use. It's not like, say, you're skiing down and have to go down a very particular path that's gonna go south, because snow drifts are a thing. but let me move you guys back to the map for North Spina. Also, I'm gonna see if I can try and clear the drawings that that you guys did last week. But after about a week's travel, you do head back to the settlement at the foot of the mountain, right here. And fortunately, you do have some measure of idea of where you need to head next, and that is heading north. Ah. As it was mentioned that Nandor was last seen in Nord. But I need one of you to roll 2d6 for the first encounter. And thank you, Captain. And I just realized I forgot that I have to adjust the volume on... There we go. I felt it was getting a little bit loud. Sorry about that. But let me switch things up a little bit. Okay, there we go. So a 6. So it doesn't take long before you find a overturned cart with what looks like the husks of reindeer carcasses yoked to the front of it, and a couple of...
No, not Santa. Sorry.
After all these years, Vegeta finally killed Santa. But as you approach, you see what looks like a couple of pale, mostly undressed humanoids shuffling about, looking through the wreckage. And picking at what little reindeer flesh remains. So what do you, seeing this in front of you, do you try and approach? What are you gonna do?
You said they're picking at the reindeer remains, so like it looks like they're basically eating them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Frelia kind of looks disgusted. You kind of see her hold her handkerchief over her mouth like she's about to vomit.
Does it look like there might
Thanks.
be supplies on the cart?
From this distance, you can't tell.
How, like if we get close enough to be able to tell, would it alert them?
If you are quiet about it,
yeah, I want to be a bit stealthy. Try and get close enough to have a little scope.
mm-hmm. All right, roll it.
Which one to roll? Dex.
Yeah, Dex. If you have a skill you think will fit, then roll that.
Maybe tracking or perceiving. Just trying to like look out for
Perceiving.
stuff that I might step on to make a noise and avoid that. Well, yep. Tease me with that 18 then.
You do approach, but as you start to get close, you end up stepping on a branch you didn't see. They
What's the way?
they perk up, as if trying to perceive you, but it's based on the way they move. It's apparent that they either have very poor eyesight or are outright blind because of the way they're moving their head about, trying to use their ears or nose to sense who's around. But as that happens, you end up feeling a very cold, unnatural wind start to blow in the area, which, for whatever reason, ends up spooking the things off.
Which direction was it coming from? Was it like ahead of where the cart is, or is it like from behind us, or what?
Behind, at the top of a of a short hill, a few paces away. At the top of that hill, you do see a cottage.
I'm gonna, I guess, try to signal to the others, like, about the cottage. I'll probably just carry on approaching the cart then, just to see if there's any supplies on there or anything.
Is that where the wind came from? Is that what was said?
The wind came from the hill.
Yeah.
And that's where the cottage is at?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as the cart itself, there's boxes and the like, but the whole thing's been ransacked.
I guess I'd just go back to the others then and tell them about the chill I felt coming from the cottage. Perhaps we should investigate it cautiously.
Mm-hmm.
probably would not hurt, but yes, cautiously.
But as you do approach it, you see what appears to be the laboratory of a would-be sorcerer within the cottage. Someone specializing in the arcane. Though I say it like that because right in the middle of what appears to be some kind of ritual circle, though you can't recognize the details, is the sorcerer's body. Long since shuffled off this mortal coil.
Would I attempt to kind of like investigate what they might have been trying to do, or if they were inflicting on themselves, I guess?
You can. That is going to be an intelligence check. If you've got a skill you think might be better suited,
I have Arcana.
That works. So 21. You can't tell the details, but it's clear he was trying to use summoning magic and it backfired. And it backfired hard. There wasn't anything that was called from it, but the energy backlash killed it.
Fascinating. Well, whatever they was trying to summon, it did not work in their favor, that's for sure.
But you do. There are various arcane materials strewn about. Including at least a few wands. Though until you have them actually appraised, you can't tell what effects the wands have.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that they have arcane energy, but that's it.
Is there like a journal of any kind that can be found?
There is one. Unfortunately, it's going to take some time to read it because it's clearly ciphered.
Okay. Anyone know how to read code?
Aurelia just kind of shakes her head. She's never seen code a day before in her life.
Yeah, Herbert's just gonna shake his head and go, nope.
Well, I mean, we could take this journal with us, but I mean, I don't know if they would hold any value in the future. From what we could tell, it's. I tried summoning something, and it did not work in their favor. Why they were summoning thing could be said in this journal, possibly, what they were summoning. But I don't know if there's any value.
Mildred, the type of code it is it where if someone took the time to try and decipher it, they could? Or is it pretty much like, unless you haven't learned, you're kind of SOL?
It is a case where and hang on, sorry, I had to pause it because it is. I have it on the lowest volume, but for some reason it was not.
It was getting louder. I know. I turned it down on my end too. I'm like, doop.
Yeah. And I had it down to a low volume on my end, but it wasn't changing. So
I think it's just that individual track.
Yeah.
It's just really loud.
Mm-hmm. Oh. No, it's something I'll have to look into. Oh. But I always have a plan B. I always have a plan B. Oh. So it is something you could decipher with enough time, but it would take it would take a few days worth of downtime to do it. At least a day.
All right, Aurelia's gonna try and work on that then.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I feel like she's got the brains and enough education where she can make it happen. You know?
Yep.
Alright, so we got 3 wands, a journal. Who wants to take the wands?
I think I'm the only person who uses wands in here. I could be wrong.
Let the magic people have them.
Mm-hmm. I will probably take one with me. But if nobody wants to take any of them, then I'll take all of them.
And because of the way Mythcraft works, proficiency isn't really a thing, so in theory anyone can use a wand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Are these better or about the same as the one that I currently have?
right now you don't know. You need to have it appraised.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But
I'm gonna wait till we do
Could-
that then.
mm-hmm.
can I try appraising them?
Normally,
You
I
have it.
you're gonna have a penalty of -5 because appraising magic items isn't your usual fare when it comes to appraising things.
Okay, I get +5, so it's just going to be a straight minus, isn't it? Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll give it a go because it might save us a bit of time from getting them appraised later.
Would helping since I have Arcana, would that help any at all with the praising?
In this case, no.
Okay.
Okay. Wish me luck. Yep, not today. Be an 8.
Yeah, no.
They're
They all
definitely
seem
ones.
great to me.
Them are some magic sticks.
Yeah, you know that they have arcane magic, but that's really it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would I be able to try looking at the body, seeing if he's got anything on him that might be tied to the ritual he tried to do,
You
or just anything in general?
You could. That'd be Dex.
Okay.
Oh, you found some stuff. That's the good news. The bad news is it's junk.
You know what to say. One man's junk is another man's treasure.
But also phrasing. But in the aftermath, as you head further north, I need one of you to roll 2d6 again. All right, 7. And you see what looks like a marauding warrior along with a band of thralls approaching, looking either for a hunt, an easy meal, or worthy prey. Roll a d6. The leader of this horde is a smallish woman with jet black skin and white eyes wearing leather armor, with a greatsword at her back, though the blade itself is thin. More of like a S-Talk than a Zweihander.
You said they're looking for prey.
And it seems they're about to try and attack you when all of a sudden from the other end you hear a twing as a crossbow bolt ends up going right through the vampire woman's throat. You and Varric can see it, but the others can't. The others can't. Off in the distance, there is what appears to be someone in ranger-like garb who had just fired a crossbow. A crossbow made of silver that most definitely has its effects on the vampire.
Does it
And
look like he's died from it, or is she just injured?
she's not gonna last. She's going to be gone in about a minute. As you see the silver start to burn away at the body.
And she had some thralls with her.
Yes.
Yes.
As soon as she got hit, the thralls scattered. And the one in the sniper in the distance simply says, "The Bale Eyes watch over you." As the sniper disappears, as if they faded into mist.
I guess in that case, can we search her body? She had that fancy S-stock on her, didn't she? I guess see if anyone wants that. Might be some use to someone.
What was on their body?
An S-stock.
What is that?
An S-stock is a type
Sword.
of great sword that is essentially, think of it like a two-handed rapier.
Okay.
Because it is a two-handed sword that is meant for thrusts.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, let me see if I can get a... And sometimes they're in longsword form, but they're also in greatsword because they're meant to be used two-handed. If you look at the side chat, you'll see.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Didn't realize that's what that was called.
Mhm. Oh. It was also known as the tuck.
Yes. If no one wants it, I'll carry it for now, just to maybe use or sell later.
Mm-hmm. Of course. But heading further north, I need a 2d6 roll. All right. Okay, let me get to that. You find what looks like a graveyard that's been excavated, with a bunch of caskets strewn all over the place with no bodies in them.
Oh.
It doesn't look like the bodies dug their way out of the caskets and dug up back to the surface, because the arrangement of dirt clearly shows someone or something dug it out with a shovel.
Varric is just shaking their head in disappointment.
But
Does the soil look like that funky soil we found before? Is it just regular soil?
it's just regular soil, although a lot colder, obviously, because you're getting closer to Nord. And it isn't like the weird soil business that you had in Broken Shield. This is it is hardened, not to the point of somebody couldn't do digging. It just is going to be a bit more strenuous, and there's a layer of frost on it, but other than that, it's just regular soil. Because of the way it's composed, and the whole thing of it being in a graveyard, it is certainly not suitable for planting anything. I suppose it was planting the dead, but that's another story. But as you head closer, and it does take a few days, and in the interim, when you guys are camping, Aurelia, I want you to make a intelligence roll to see if you can decipher that journal.
I'm on the wrong page, that's why I can't find it. Just straight intelligence, correct?
Yep.
Ugh. Dang.
So you're able to figure out the code, but there's some bits of incoherence or using terminology you're not familiar with. But what is clear at the back end is that with the growing paranoia of what was going on in Dirk, there's the belief that the sorcerer should probably summon some help, and was attempting to summon a shadow. But when you look at the ritual components and the like, it's clear that the kind of power he would have tried to call upon was not going to be easily contained within the ritual. The ritual was half finished. he ended up he ended up literally going off half cocked on trying to summon.
Wow. She's gonna relay that information, but continue to try and study this to see if she can glean more information from it and get a more precise reading.
Which I can get that. Although within the journal there are also some notes about Nord, because it's clear the sorcerer was going between his cottage and some of the villages in Nord. Roll intelligence. So it is noted that the mountains of Nord are a place where the temperature and thin air can claim the lives of unprepared travelers. You need to be more and more prepared the higher up you're going.
Makes sense.
But despite that, due to its position on the coast, it has a long... The mountains of Nord and its nearby areas have a long history of maritime activity. And there are quite a few Nords who become soldiers and raiders in their younger years. But just as many become shipwrights or sailors. Especially since the seas to the north and west are infamously treacherous and are full of shipwrecks. To the point where if you're going through those waters, best to hire a captain who knows what they're doing. Because it's riddled with ice flows. And I know from my own experiences. Ice flows can kill ships if they're not handled carefully.
Mildred was on the Titanic, confirmed.
Not true. I was on the Olympic.
Oh man.
But yes, it's not just stray icebergs. Ice flows can squeeze a ship.
Yeah.
Because of how they move, you might get stuck, and those blocks of ice are heavier than a ship is going to be, so it just crushes it like a soda can. And like nowadays, they can still be a threat with metal ships. Imagine how much of a threat they would be if your ship is made of wood.
Oh yeah. It's like breaking chopsticks. Let's go.
But this particular area is ruled by the Fordnaug, a class of vampiric Vikings. Technically speaking, the capital of Nord is Phalanx and is run by a chancellor. But the Fordraug have their hands in everything and are pretty much the actual power within the region. So, so yeah, the realm of Nord is run by vampiric Vikings.
Fun.
Thus, I should clarify, when I meant Thrall, I'm talking of Thrall in the Norse sense, not in the um.
Vampire sense.
Mm-hmm. But eventually, in your pursuit into Nord, you do arrive at first at Shatterkeel Bay and then at Phalanx, which is a mountainous capital and populous enough where you probably could ask around um looking for a vampire named Nandor, your target and the reason you guys are heading up here. It's also a spot where you could have the wands appraised.
Oh, heck yeah. She's, after getting that, she's gonna be sure to relay that to the others and take a note of everything in, like, her journal as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's her now.
Yep. Uh, so you do find a shop to get it appraised.
Hmm.
Okay.
And what is revealed is what you thought were three wands were three components for one wand that were supposed to be put together.
Oh.
Though when he does put it together, it's like, these things are hard. This kind of thing is hard to find. Where did you get this?
Well, first, what does it do? And then maybe I tell.
This is a war wizard's wand. It is meant to be used by wizards and sorcerers who are expected to go into heavy combat, as in some cases as full-on soldiers. Uh, I've I've only read about these things. He shows that once assembled together, it's a wand made of white ash with a tumbler at the hilt with four sides on it. each side having one symbol: a flame, a lightning bolt, a snowflake, and a skull. He shows that he demonstrates by turning the tumbler, and you can see different types of energy coming off of the tip of the wand as he does so.
Ooh. Oh. How's that compare to your wand?
So I will note in mechanically speaking, it can do fire, lightning, cold, or corrosive based on what symbol is displayed. Let me see the one that you currently have. It doesn't do as much damage, but it can do multiple elements. They can do fire, lightning, cold, or corrosive damage.
Really is gonna mess up on that one.
You know what? On that one, you cut out.
She's gonna pass up on that one. She's kind of okay with what she's got right now.
If that's the case, I will hold on to it because that just seems something that could be of usage maybe down the road.
So put in the War Wizard's wand in your inventory. I'll add it into the combat side of things in a bit.
You got it. Yeah, I already got it. Put it in the inventory just in case. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
While we're there, Herbert's gonna pull out the S stock and be like, "Can you tell us a bit about this as well? What is it?"
Because he just looks at it, then looks at you like, "Why are you bringing this to me?" And says, "It's an S-Talk. It's a sword.
I see.
A well-made one, but a sword."
A two-handed weapon, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. He'll just kind of shrug and go, "Okay." Put it back on his back.
It's a decent two-handed weapon, though it's not going to be as good as your hammer in terms of suiting your style.
I thought so.
But as far as looking about for trying to find Nandor, you guys do ask about looking for but all you know is that he is a eccentric reclusive vampire, which doesn't exactly say much. But roll either intellect, charisma, or luck. You can pick one of the three.
All of us or just one of us?
All of you.
I'm feeling lucky.
Hold on a second. Yeah, sorry about that. about that. Note to self. Note to self. Put in channel statuses. Anyway. You do hear that there is a certain vampire who lives high up in the mountains who does not want to be bothered. Although stating that you're looking for an eccentric vampire is kind of hard when vampires have been living in Nord for generations. But you also end up hearing about a vampire with a brand on her neck named Kyrus who's looking for someone as well.
Would it be possible to see if we gather more information of who they are possibly looking for?
From what I'm not gonna have you roll for this, but from what you were able, you do try and gather information on that. What you're able to determine is that she is looking for her father, who she's been tracking from Bishal all the way to Nord.
Okay.
But let me zoom in on this. Oops, a little too zoomed in. There we go. As you do your investigation, you do find out that there is rumors of a colorful and eccentric vampire on the closer to Drufell, which is way up in the mountains. So right up here, whereas you guys are in Phalanx right here. Which means it is back to mountain climbing again. Don't you just love climbing up treacherous mountains where you might slip at a moment's notice and you can't warn people too loud because you might trigger an avalanche?
All right.
Yay, me trying to fall again. With this armor?
But the mountains of Nord seem to be blanketed by a near constant sheet of mist. Trees looming like skeletal watchmen, and the uneven ground and sudden cliffs adding a dangerous element to the reduced visibility. Any recent tracks have faded to near invisibility thanks to the recent flurries of snow. So, as far as tracking, I'd like each of you to roll either awareness or intelligence.
Is this for tracking, did you say?
Yes, since you guys are trying to find him.
Can I use tracking for that then?
In the in this instance, yes. All right. Let's see, that's one down. I need the rest of you.
Sorry, what am I rolling? I went to grab,
Receiving, right?
Four. Receiving.
Awareness or intelligence. If you want to use a related skill, then do that. Ooh, that is unfortunate.
I think they're down the mountain, y'all. Why are we going up the mountain?
Let's see. So it is up to you, Aurelia. Skay?
Hmm?
You were the only one who hadn't rolled.
Sorry, I'm like fighting consciousness over here due to pregnancy.
No
I am
worries.
so sorry. I'm gonna get myself a cup of coffee so that I'm not dying. What are we rolling?
Either awareness or intelligence. If you
I
have a
apologize
skill
for
you think
that.
would work, then roll that.
Where is this for?
Go ahead.
Would intuiting work?
Yes.
Okay, whatever.
That will count. Uh, you do see some tracks, but you also get the sense that someone is perceiving you using magic.
Mm.
Varric, you definitely get the feeling because it's someone's clearly using some sort of divining spell.
Okay.
Essentially, you know that somebody's using far sense in order to have an eye on this particular area.
Okay. Mm. Well, we do know that they don't like visitors, so probably would want to keep our guard up for any um, traps or defensive mechanisms.
But eventually you come across a site while following the trap. Not trap, the tracks. Almost gave away the lead there. No, it's not. No, not trapped just yet.
Guys.
Um, let me make a roll. You find a total of 13 armored Nordians, a mixture of humans, dwarves, and Urko, that have been impaled on sharpened tree branches.
Oh,
Oh, fun.
Impaled and completely exsanguinated. I.e., drained of all blood.
Yep.
mhm.
But if you wish to investigate the area here, that's either awareness or intellect.
Mm.
Really, you know that they were probably ambushed and murdered by a vampire.
Wait, actually, would intuiting have been better for that, or
Uh, you can try it.
because yeah.
So you can tell that even with the snowfall, it's clear that this was recent combat. You see dried blood on tree trunks and some broken arrows. They were probably attacked from the north, where there's a stony ridge, offering a decent vantage point. Uh, you also see some footsteps underneath a canopy of evergreen tree that comes from the west, then return in that direction.
Mm.
Those footprints later fade into fresh snow.
Is there any fresh blood, or is it all mostly dried by now?
It's dried.
Okay. Mm. Be careful. It looks like they were ambushed, and whoever killed them came from that direction. From what I gathered when we got here, we're already being perceived. So our arrival isn't going to be a surprise to anyone. Or whoever's expecting us, at least.
Mm-hmm. With the fresh snow that you saw, it's hard to tell if that was snow that just happened to blow in or if it was put there.
Valen. Can I do a nature check to try and see?
Go ahead.
22.
Yeah, whoever put those tracks covered the tracks to a certain endpoint, but they didn't try and cover all their tracks.
Alright, she's gonna mention that, and she's gonna point out the tracks that are uncovered. Can we tell which direction those are headed based on, like, what path and direction they end up going if you were to plot them down, like, on a map or whatnot?
You can, and it does show them going. The tracks are headed to the northwest. And as you follow the tracks, you do find that they head from north to south, and are very visible alongside the bank of a hot spring that's overgrown with evergreens. And 10 paces further away is a riverbank that has plenty of fresh snow that could cover tracks. Uh, if you want to follow the if you want to follow the tracks, that is an awareness tracking check.
Oh, I'm tracking. I just have awareness. So. But 19.
Whoever left the tracks carefully walked along the riverbed, then walked in reverse, reusing their same footprints. And then it looks like they headed further south.
She's going to relay this information to everyone else.
Mm-hmm. But as you follow the tracks, oh, you hear someone in the distance yelling, "Help! He's a vampire! Stay away!" As what sounds like humanoid screams and a braying horse mixing with a menacing laugh.
Hmm. Can I roll to? I mean, I guess it would be intuiting to try and tell if this is a legitimate cry for help or if this is just bait.
Um, if you're just using audio, it is all but impossible to tell from just that.
More so going off the context clues of we're following the trail that was left behind
Mm-hmm.
and the situation that happened prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
But
And knowing that we're being essentially watched.
We said we heard a horse cry as well. Is it
Yep.
possible to be having a horse up here?
Look, the chick is nice and flat.
but as you do get a peek of things, seeing a vampire wearing dark felt clothes and dragging one of the nomads out of the wagon, which has had its two front wheels snapped off. The vampire has this person in a headlock and is draining blood from a bite to the neck. The others are screaming, and one of them is fumbling with a makeshift stake made of the wheel's spokes.
How many vampires are there
One.
that we can see?
Just one?
Can I try and shoot him?
Yeah?
All right. I'm gonna take careful aim, and I would like to shoot him with the stake thrower, please.
Well, you hit it dead in the head. But there's no blood or chunky salsa or anything.
Hmm.
As the whole thing just fades into mist.
Did he at least drop the dude he was attacking?
No, the whole thing was it's clear.
The whole thing was fake.
Yep.
Illusion.
Yeah, I didn't want to get any closer to that.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I was
And-
contemplating it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I shot. It's just like, I could either get closer and risk, or I could just shoot and know immediately, you know?
Yeah, no, it was a good call.
I was contemplating if Herbert would be smart enough to not charge or not.
Mm-hmm. But
She's just gonna kind of brush herself off and be like, I think I'm quite getting used to this thing. Gotta deduct one of my fucking stakes now. Actually, can I pick that stake up and keep it?
you can, and
Let's go.
just as you're about to pick it up, you hear a whooshing sound. Roll dex.
Oh.
As soon as you pick it up, you feel an arrow just barely graze your shoulder. You take 4 damage.
I'm trying to figure out where on the sheet the damage is. Mildred, help. Where did we put this? Is it in combat? It's in combat, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I got it.
But off in the distance, you see what looks like a man in his 50s with wild black hair and a bow readied at you as he fires again as he fires again.
Oh no, he's
So-
hot. Sorry. Oh man, my brain is elsewhere. I'm sorry, Mildred.
Oh. If you ever lose your
Um,
mind, I'm pretty sure we can find it in Lost and Found.
Probably.
But
Pregnancy brain is like eating me alive right now, along with the exhaustion, and my brain's just like oozing out my ears. I have become the physical embodiment of whatever the fuck my profile picture is.
How far is the person?
about 30 feet.
I'm rolling decks again. I'm rolling decks again, aren't I?
Yep. As he's shooting at you again.
Could I cast blind on
Actually,
them?
Yes.
can I cast Wall of Briars and basically block this dude off?
Yes, you can.
Boom.
As thorny briars end up blocking off the arrow. Oh.
So how's this work? I clicked on blind and then it gave me a macro option.
Oh. Let's see. Blind. That's asking if you've generated tactical advantage or disadvantage, which you haven't.
Okay. So do I just leave it at 0 then?
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, make a magic attack that's going to be targeting their logic defense. So you would basically be rolling. Let me check to make sure this actually works. Okay, never mind. Since you're doing a magic attack, which that should have. That should have done. Oh, it already did the roll. You rolled 23 versus logic defense. Oh, so let me get that. Oh, that definitely hits. He is blinded as a bright flash ends up hitting him right in the face.
Perfect.
As he's blinded for a few seconds. What are you gonna do?
Can Herbert charge him?
Yeah, he's close enough away that you can charge him. Are you trying to shoulder tackle him or something?
I was gonna do, what's it called? Let me find it. Talents on it. So I was gonna use offensive rush.
All right.
And then combo it with bull rush.
All right. Then we can do that.
So I just make a melee attack, don't I? Yeah.
Yep. let's see, versus AR. Yeah, that hits.
I'm gonna rend it as well, so double strength
Mhm.
added. Another 5 on top.
Yep.
And then I do a secondary attack with Bull Rush against his fort.
Yep.
So. Well, you can't win them all.
Yeah, that one's not hitting. But
That's the one I wanted to hit so I could knock him down.
Yeah, you do shoulder tackle him, and he does get knocked back, but not down. As the two of you are in a Mexican standoff.
What I'd like to see.
At which point he you don't know what language he's yelling, but he just starts shouting very loudly. Just one big shout.
Does it look like it's directed at us, or like just in general he's just like shouting aloud?
In general. And you hear the shout echo, echo, echo. And then you start to feel the ground rumble.
Oh boy.
Fun.
So you can either try to, as you hear the ground rumbling, you look up and you see a familiar looking wall of snow coming down.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either run, try and shelter, or anchor.
Varric would run for shelter because they are not strong.
All right. You
I'd
can
probably
roll.
do the same.
So roll either awareness, intellect, or luck.
Damn.
Would navigating help with this at all? Like trying to navigate into a good shelter?
No.
Okay.
How far away from me is he?
It's gonna hit you in the next few seconds.
Okay, hear me out.
I'm already
Would I
hating
have
this.
time? Would I have time to run up and grapple him and like kind of use his body as a shield?
No.
Yeah.
He's already but after he made the shout, he already jumped into one of the trees.
Coward. Can I jump in the same tree?
Roll athletics. You better get very good on this. Otherwise, you're going to be face planting and get buried in snow.
I do not have athletics. Do you want me to do dex instead?
Strength.
Strong. Okay.
You missed. You tried to jump. You end up overshooting, landing in the ground just as you start to see the snow hitting you. So, first off, I need to make.
I'm ready.
So, first off, I'm gonna make one roll, and I need everyone to compare this to their fort defense. 12.
I just beat it.
Oh. Everyone else does a 12 beat your fort defense.
It does not.
Where do I look for it?
In combat tab.
That.
Should be under endurance.
Oh, fortitude.
Yeah.
It nailed it.
All right. Aurelia, what about you?
I think she went AFK.
So I will take a look myself. Well, Abyss, good news. You're not the only one getting hit.
Yay. Sharing
Oh.
is caring.
Let's see. So you both take 7 blunt damage. Though while this is going on, Varric has you have a clean shot to try and get him. Um, since even though he's up in the tree while this avalanche is going on, he doesn't have a whole lot of room to escape while the snow is coming.
Okay. Well, I guess that having that wand was pretty handy because I think that's the only ranged weapon I have at the moment. Try to check my magic really quick too. Oh, I got some magic. Okay.
If you're using the wand, that's going to be rolling charisma.
Got it. Okay. No, I think I will
You also
go ahead
have
and count.
your breath weapon.
That's true. I do have that. Um, let's see. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and use my breath weapon. Let's see.
Which you do end up hitting him definitely with that.
All right.
Roll damage.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
Nice.
I like that.
So, I think when we talked about it, you wanted it to be like a full-on light beam instead of a thunderbolt.
Yeah, kind of like a lightning, basically.
Um, which, given that, you do end up hitting him, and the only reason he doesn't get knocked down into the avalanche is because he just barely holds onto the tree. But by the time he does get down, he is about 1 inch away from from Aurelia's stake thrower being aimed right at him, along with just everybody else aiming their weapon at him. You know, in the vein of, if you if you even move, we will hit you all at once.
Sorry, I'm back. I didn't mean to run off like that.
No worries. You did end up taking damage from the avalanche.
How much?
I already put it in. You took 7 damage.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Also, apologies for the incoming train.
Train?
The pain train.
Yep. The pain train.
But
Oh, no.
as you go as he's it's clear that he clearly sees that if he tries to move, he's gonna get stuck in a kicking circle.
Mm-hmm.
But he says, all right, fine. You're clearly not you're clearly not you're clearly not troublemakers. But can we at the very least talk about this in my cabin?
So, what was
Yep.
attacking and shooting arrows at me previously?
This guy, this guy, this guy you said
Oh.
earlier, oh no, he's hot.
Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, the first image in my brain was, oh no, he's hot. I could describe what he looked like in my head, but I'm going to keep that to myself. I'm not sharing. Anyway.
Do we have an image of this guy?
No, we don't. Not that I've
Damn.
seen yet.
Well, now we just have to make them very attractive, apparently.
Apparently, I have to
Don't
make him
worry.
hot.
Yeah.
got this.
I'm sorry. This is my fault. I'm sorry. It was the first thing that popped in my head.
Don't
After
worry.
that, I was like, oh no, we're gonna be like, I can fix him.
Skeg?
Oh, she totally can. Anyway, she's gonna
I
look at
found
him. She's
him.
like, "You shot me, and now you want to apologize and work it out."
He looks at you. He looks at the stake thrower. He looks at the others and says, "You came into my part of the mountain."
And
I
who
thought-
says you own the mountain?
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a piece of paper that is a deed to this, basically saying that, yes, he is technically speaking a landowner.
She says, "Last time I checked,
God,
it
if-
says you own the property for that cabin, not the whole damn mountain."
I didn't say the whole damn mountain. I said this part of the mountain.
She's like, "I don't see signs. I don't see any bordering blocking this off saying this is your property. And you're just gonna shoot at me?
Yes.
Do I look like I'm here to hurt people?"
You don't look like you're not here to hurt people.
She says, "Sir, I am in the wrong neck of the woods, and this is far from where I want to be or what I normally am. I am but a frail maiden."
A frail
But
maiden
I am
who...
not defenseless. She points the stake thrower at him again. She is very flustered right now.
Look. This was all clearly a misunderstanding.
She's
At
gonna
the
be like,
very...
"So why are you creating ambushes to try and kill people, making them think that there's vampires here?"
Have you been to Phalanx? I didn't want anybody from that family coming here.
What are Phalanx? What type of family are they? What's the race?
Oh, I'm just mentioning this outside of it. You were just in Phalanx earlier. That's
Okay,
the
but
capital
the
of
family, like, what race were they? The family.
vampires.
Ah, so shit. So me going, I'm an elf, doesn't really work here because Grenadiers are probably in the equation already.
Vampires can be of different races, including
Yeah,
elves.
that was
You
kind
have
of my point.
you have one in your party who is an elf and a vampire.
Wait,
That was
we
my
have a
point.
vampire in the party?
That was my point.
There's a what? I don't know. I'm
That was
just
my
a
point.
worshiper
But,
of the gods, you know? The gods tell me I need to kill all vampires.
Ma'am, I'm just here to tell you, anyone that tells you to kill yourself can go fuck right off. I'm like, what the fuck? She's gonna look at him, and she's gonna just kind of like, her eyes kind of narrow. So I go to help someone who's being attacked by vampires, and attack a vampire, and you think I'm a vampire?
I didn't say you were. I just you could be one of their thralls for all I know.
But they weren't help. I mean, obviously it was illusion, but I mean, if it was real, we were trying to help. And your response was to shoot the people that were helping. Look, I understand, like, you are trying to protect your land, but I mean, she also has very good points.
It's clear we won't get any further on this, and and the sun is starting to come down. Can I at least give you the night's shelter in my cottage?
What,
There's not
didn't
going
kill
to be
us
any
tonight?
I was going to say there's no traps in your cottage, is there?
She's so pissed off about being attacked right now. I just want y'all to know that.
He just looks and goes, "Why would I trap my own house?"
The same reason why you trap your own land.
Just come with me. He's like, he has an attitude of, I am so done. I am so done, but rules of hospitality mean I do have to give you some measure of shelter for the night.
She's gonna lean over to Scarlet and she's gonna be like, "What a presumptuous asshole."
I'm like now.
He tried to kill me.
We still need information. I'll be like, all right, I guess take your lead and we'll follow you so you'll be safe from all your traps.
Fine. At least let me introduce myself proper. My name is Nandor Vladislav. But eventually, you're led back to his house, a modest-looking cabin. It's clearly kept up, but it's not extravagant. It is much like the kind of open cabins you would see across places like Finland, which there is kind of a kind of unwritten hospitality of certain cabins in the wilderness in places like Finland that are left unlocked in case you know, somebody who's lost in the woods finds them, so they have some kind of shelter for a while.
Hmm.
You know, because Finland is fucking cold all the damn time. But he does he does prepare a bit of warm cider for you all, so you can at least warm up after climbing up the mountain. Uh,
Not
but
poisoned, is it?
no, no, it's not poisoned. I don't do poisons.
Think Herbert should drink it all just to be safe.
It's hot cider. Okay. I heard one of you say that you were looking for information. Clearly you're persistent if you're willing to come all the way up here. So what can a simple hermit like myself offer?
So you have heard.
I have good ears.
We want more information on uh on someone that you have helped. He may have he goes by two names. Well, there's one no name, and there's his previous name, which is I'll just like say like Pietro.
Ah, you're looking about him. Well,
Yes.
him and his wife were a guest in my realm a long time ago. What exactly do you want to know about him that you'd ask me?
Well, we heard about this interesting concoction, and we want to know how we can either, I say, fix things. We want to know about him. We want to know what kind of weaknesses.
I don't know about weaknesses, and I know you probably came here thinking that I was the one who introduced him to vampirism. I didn't. I didn't turn him into a vampire. He did that himself. I had nothing to do with him becoming someone like me. Well, not even me, because in the process of whatever he did, he created a whole new strain of vampirism.
I see. So he was able to alter what you have, correct?
He doesn't have what I do. He is a vampire who was not sired by any other vampire that exists. I'd heard that he accomplished this through through an array of rituals and the help of the Frankenstein family.
I see. Do you have any other information on him?
No, for what you're asking for, I think you may be better served heading to the Frankenstein's laboratory. I hear it's in the forest in Dirk.
I'll look at the party and ask him, like, if I didn't hit any other questions, you're free to ask any more.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I want to ask.
More traveling, yay!
Oh, if you wish to have a um, shorter option, there is one approach that might make things a little bit faster. There is a traveling realm that seems to visit various parts of Norspina. It will arrive in these mountains in 6 days.
Okay.
So if you wish, you could wait here a few days until it arrives, and then use that to get to the forests in Dirk.
What do you guys think? Do you think we should stay here for a bit, or?
If it ends up us getting there faster, I don't see why not.
Might be easier on us, especially since we were pretty unlucky with the avalanches before. Might be safer.
Well, on my particular pride, I will not be doing any funny business, as you might put it. In this instance, you all are guests of my house, and guests are to be treated as such according to the rules of hospitality. So once it arrives in 6 days, then things can be handled appropriately. And since that is going to be a 6-day thing, this is a perfect time for us to do our 10-minute. So we'll be back in a few. So get your drinks, get your snacks, use the water closet if you need it. We will see you in 10.
Manihang mo manjimbarala manihaya
are back, ladies and gentlemen. Heading all the way into... after about 6 days of just buying time and occasionally helping him with his hunts, because as a hermit he is very live off the land. He doesn't interact with anybody in Felix or Dreyfell or Shatterkeel. You step outside and you find that you're no longer in the area that you were, but in that same darkened place that you were a few weeks ago.
Interesting.
To which he points out, this place is the Shadowcroft. It seems to layer itself on our world and occasionally move where it is. I think that's the best way I can describe it. It is a place where it is not of this world. But the way you reacted when I said it, I have the distinct feeling you've been here before.
Maybe once on accident.
And he does take a look at the map that you have and points out places where it has appeared and the path that it takes, which when you look at it, you see that that right in the middle, it makes the shape of a pentagram.
The irony.
Which I'm sure that will play a factor at some point. But it says because of the fact that it moves like this, while we're in it, you could ride it out to pretty much anywhere in a lot less time, because time moves not necessarily faster or slower, but just differently here.
What kind of dangers lurk around here? Obviously, there must be some kind of dangers here as well.
A few fallen knights, perhaps. Perhaps a few. There is. really only one area in particular where there is anything close to a settlement that's under constant watch. He points to a massive castle town in the distance. That there is Camelot. I haven't been there, but I hear its name. It's the only thing that could resemble a settlement in this place. Another instance of Dracula's many experiments, no doubt.
What are some of the things that you've heard besides, like, is it just the name that you've heard, or, like, what information do you have about Camelot?
All I know is that it has been usurped by a woman named Lilith.
Hmm.
I don't do well in cities.
Oh, you don't say. Looks to her earlier.
But eventually a portal out of
I'm so sorry.
eventually a portal outside of Shadowcroft emerges, and when you go through it, you find yourself at the outskirts of Ice Point. So in only a few days, you managed to go halfway across the continent in what would have taken you weeks if you otherwise. But in the aftermath, he does take his leave. But because of this, there are two directions that you can head to. Now that you're back in Ice Point. Option A is heading west to the Mad Forest, the Haunted Forest, and then leading into the Mad Forest, where Nandor had said the Frankenstein family's laboratory was. On the other end, he did also say that the Amadeus estate might also hold clues for you. So which the Amadeus estate is in Ice Point. So which would you want to head to first?
We're closer to Ice Point right now, yeah?
Hmm.
No, we can tackle which one's closer
Mm-hmm.
and then go far out with our new information that we'll get that's close by.
That seems like the most logical choice, yeah.
Yep. So let's. So let me move. Let me move you guys so that you can see the estate. Oops. Hit the wrong thing. Let me zoom out a bit. Although you do hear that when you return to Ice Point, you do hear that um there seems to be a bounty out for a group of adventurers. Though the bounty picture that's shown doesn't look anything like you. So it's like somebody's looking for you, but they haven't quite gotten your description right.
Does it have our names on it, or
No.
okay?
We're famous, Mom.
If you didn't get the wings right.
It's better
Actually, this
that they didn't.
let me get right one. So you guys enter in through this area, and thus the welcoming terrace. Uh, the the outside gates are locked, but that's nothing. But the lock is clearly rusted. Uh, no, it's rusted enough to the point where you don't even need to pick it. You can just smash it.
Mhm.
Like whoever was here hasn't been here in quite some time. And even just from the outset, the estate looks like it's seen better days.
There's supposed to be information here.
Hopefully it's still intact, because apparently no one's gone through this door.
But the whole estate has fallen into a bit of a sinkhole. The welcoming terrace has a cobbled road that leads to what must have been a front courtyard. The courtyard has broken into a jagged cliff that plunges downward. About 80 feet before leaving out into a pile of debris. The manor looks intact from a distance, but it's clearly taken damage because it fell into an 80-foot sinkhole. The glass windows everywhere have shattered. A couple of the towers have crumbled, and the rooftops are mostly caved in. You do see to the north a few outbuildings if you want to take that route. Or you could take your chances and do an 80-foot jump down the sinkhole.
80 foot's not that far.
I mean, I can glide down there, but I don't know if I want to go down there by myself.
I can probably join you. It might hurt, but I can probably join you.
I think it'd rather be better if we all stick together on this one. Considering the state of decay we're seeing of this building.
I would
Definitely
agree.
watch your step a little bit more, though.
Yeah, looks like everything might fall beneath you, so watch your step for sure.
And also watch above you in case anything collapses above as well.
So it
Just
sounds
be
like
careful all around.
so it sounds like you guys are headed north.
uh, yes, I think so.
Right. So at about here, you see a couple outbuildings that were spared from the sinkhole and remain intact, if having seen better days. Both are accessible just due to the fact that the windows are all broken. You just walk in from that into the inside. One of them appears to be a setup of servant rooms. With it, you see a personal kitchen and a living area. The other is a shed full of garden tools. The only inhabitants of either building are a few rats here and there. But heading further eastward, you find one of the buildings has an outbuilding cellar. A storage cellar that's long and low, packed with earthen walls held in place by wooden joists. One end of the cellar opens into air, where the sinkhole pulled off the entire wall. From this spot, you can see into the manor's towers. The tower isn't intact, except for a big part of the roof. And you do see a ladder at one end that could be used to reach said tower.
How's this ladder look?
The ladder looks stable.
Okay.
So you could use it to cross.
Quick mechanical question.
Mm-hmm.
If some were to fall and I were to jump down to like try to slow down their fall, would I be able to do that?
No,
Okay.
you'd be too heavy.
Got it. Cool. Just figured I'd check.
Mhm. But as you go, because I'm assuming you guys are going across the path, since that's the main way to get into the tower here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So this is clearly a tower that's meant for astronomy. The huge stationary telescope in the center survived the fall, except for a hairline fracture on one of its lenses. Though because of the smoke generated from Dracula's castle to the west, there is a heavy amount of cloud cover over Ice Point at all times. But the telescope is functional. You also see different astronomy charts scattered all across the room, detailing star paths each year and highlighting constellations. There's also a wooden staircase that descends into the Grand Hall, though the staircase itself has rotted. So it, but it is a potential way that you could head down into the greater part of the estate. So if you want to take those stairs, that is a dex check.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Mm-hmm. And that just barely passed.
That's what I like to hear.
And I'm not going to have each of you roll individually for it. I just needed one of you to roll.
Mm-hmm. Varric will probably like stay mostly at the back of the party just in case if someone falls, he'll be able to like glide down to follow them down.
Mm-hmm. But at the base of the staircase, you eventually find yourself at what would have been the grand hall of the estate. Stone rubble and roof tiles are strewn throughout the length, covering most of the once fine red rug underneath Detrius. The hall connects to the master suite and several other rooms. It also has a grand stone staircase that descends to the ground floor grand hall. You're at the grand hall of the second floor. You do, oddly enough, you find that one of the rooms that's attached in this area is magically sealed, but you can attempt to you could head further south to explore there, or head to the room to the west. Not west, east. So either here or here. Which one do you think you want to go with?
Which room did you say was magically sealed? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
okay. I guess could I roll Arcana to kind of see what's kind of magic it's holding it sealed, or what's causing it to still be sealed after all this time?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. You can tell it's locked. It's locked with a seal unseal spell.
Okay.
And you could attempt. You could attempt to unseal it if you don't have that spell, but it is going to. It is an Arcana check, but it's going to be at a higher difficulty. So best hope the dice. You can try again to forcibly unseal it. This would be another Arcana check.
Yeah. Aurelia, you're the other spellcaster, correct?
That is correct. Sorry. I was muted so my kids didn't come through.
No, it's fine. Do you have a seal unseal spell?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't believe I do.
Okay. In that case, yeah, I'll make an attempt then. Wouldn't hurt to try, I guess.
All right.
Can I tell if I have that? Is it under a specific name or?
No.
Okay. Oh man.
I'm pretty sure that's a fail.
It is a failed successfully because you did unseal it, but when I say unseal, it's more like you just tore the spell apart. But that energy's
Okay.
got to go somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
which means you have a bad case of explosion.
Yep. Fair.
Uh, but you're only taking 3 damage as
Okay.
the door blows up.
Oh. Oh, it's open.
Good news, it's open. Bad news, there's no door.
Perfect.
Just a lot of wood shrapnel all over the floor. But entering in, you find a single large bed, a writing desk, and an unfinished letter on that writing desk that begins, "Dearest Teresa." There's also a wardrobe that fell on its side due to the collapse.
I would like to look at the letter.
The letter rambles at great length, almost incoherently, about his plans to do anything, kill anyone, go anywhere, and literally move heaven and hell to save Teresa. Right next to the letter is a silver necklace with a pendant that has the Tavarian Tree of Life.
Does that have any relation to the uh the dream thing I had to get the Tovier's halo?
It is technically a holy. It would count as a holy symbol, and it's the same goddess, but um, not in the sense I think you're thinking.
Okay, it's fine.
But it is still going to be valuable to carry.
Okay.
But you also while looking about find a diary where they state that they intend to collect Teresa's ashes in a sacred urn and bury them at the base of one of her apple trees, where the two of them had met all those years ago, intending to imbue the ashes and the urn that holds them with the power to rival any holy relic.
Interesting.
There are also other entries in the journal you find. Where it is noted that this woman, Teresa, who's mentioned frequently, was a servant of Abraham Van Helsing and tended the Helsing estate garden instead of a public orchard outside the town. Which you remember that you may remember last week that Hawthorne talked about a woman named Teresa.
Yes. Go through my notes.
But just by the frequent mention of Teresa, you can probably figure out whose diary this is.
Am I able to keep that diary?
Yes.
I'm gonna hold on to the diary. I think this is very valuable.
I agree.
But leaving the room, southward is the what would have been the master's suite. It is accompanied by a large bed that's been impaled in the middle by a wooden crossbeam, along with other furniture that probably would have looked exquisite in if this mansion were in better conditions. It also shares a door. It also has a doorway with the tea room to the east. And an access point to a dumbwaiter that descends further into the first floor. But within the tea room, the far wall has pretty much been destroyed, which does give you a nice view of the courtyard, or what's left, or that fills the base of the sinkhole, or what's left of it. The furniture is mostly intact, but across the floor you see broken porcelain. Oh. Though within the room there's also a bunch of stuffed chairs and small tables. One of them has another diary.
Okay. What's this diary say?
Roll intelligence.
Oh,
To see if you
okay.
can skim through it quickly. Apparently not.
What language is this?
Pretty colors.
Oh man.
It's like the mangas. You gotta read from the back to the front.
No, it's in Aramaic. It says, Rufus, see you in 2 months. Jesus. But you can try
Really?
again.
See that he's struggling?
Yeah.
Turns the book upside down to try and read it even more.
So after skimming through it, you do learn that this diary belonged to Anastasia Amadeus.
Mm.
It speaks about how young Pietro was fascinated with astronomy, preferring the night's elegance and mystique to the blunt candor of the day. And a young Pietro also loved fairy tales and idolized the knights and heroes in some of those tales, including one about the Rose Knight's lance, which is a popular constellation.
Really is just kind of smiling while she reads this.
Getting all the tea.
Would there be a particular reason that that one caught his interest that I can tell? I'm gonna assume I have to roll for astronomy on this one.
Not detailed in this diary.
That's fair.
But back up here, there is a staircase that goes down to the first floor if you guys want to pursue that.
Yeah, if we could do that, that would be nice.
That'd be great.
I would like to just make a note that when we are making our way out, I would probably want to check the astrology room again and see if we can find any more notes related to that other diary we just found.
Oh yeah, that too. Shit. Sorry, I was doing a kid, so I was muted during that part.
But the Grand Hall connects the first and second floor via a massive stone staircase. The halls connect to a few other places, though. On the other side of it is the courtyard. To the west, as well as a library to the north and a dining chamber to the south. There's also a couple rooms eastward, but one of them is blocked off by debris. So, you guys want to go north, south, west, or east?
I'm thinking north to the library.
Library sounds good.
Yep.
Agreed.
The library is mostly destroyed. Bookshelves fell and splintered all over the place. Many books became torn at the seams, and dozens of pages are scattered throughout the room. Some of the pages look like they've been eaten by rats or worms. If you want to search the library, that is an awareness roll.
Can I use perceiving?
No, it's straight awareness.
Okay.
You do find one thing. Oddly enough, a book of fairy tales. It's battered, but you do find it. Along with a tattered cloth bookmark on one page in particular. Which has also been dog-eared enough times where the dog-ear fold has fallen away. In it details the story of the Rose Knight, a noble hero who struggled to weigh his heart against his responsibilities when he fell in love with a peasant girl.
Aurelia is gonna point that out and mention that the correlation between that and the note, the diary prior.
But for the remaining part, you guys heading south, or west?
Guess west.
All right. This would be, under normal circumstances, this would be the courtyard of the estate. of course, these are not normal circumstances. The courtyard is covered in rubble and debris.
Is there any trees that seem to have survived this
Not
rubble?
really.
Okay.
If you want to search the courtyard for clues, you can do an awareness check on that.
Okay.
All right, 13. And anyone else want to give it a shot?
What is it?
Awareness.
Awareness? Oof. I'm gonna assume there's no alternatives to that.
Yeah. You guys eventually find a sphere. It weighs about 8 pounds and has a circumference the size of a dinner plate. Aurelia, you know this as an unerring sphere, which these can record conversations, environments, or both. Usually they can record about 1 hour's worth of material. But if you want to try and to activate
Hold
the
on.
sphere, that is going to be an Arcana check, and better hope you roll high.
I'm sorry, I had to turn down the thing because it was creeping up on the loudness. You said Arcana?
Yep.
I got this. There you go.
So, after you managed to guess just at the command word, just throwing out random words until something works.
Aha.
But eventually, the sphere displays a recording around you all, almost like a very complex hologram, stating,
Sorry, my kids are fighting in the background.
the glassy surface of the unerring sphere depicts the Amadeus Welcome Terrace as it must have been prior to the estate's collapse. Beautiful topiary bushes resemble abstract swirls and geometric shapes. The tall, brooding human in dark clothing can only be Pietro. His parents stand nearby, and many other nobles gather into the courtyard. Each pay their condolences to Pietro for, quote, the most untimely death of the innocent Teresa, end quote, according to a noble that you recognize as a much younger-looking Edgar Hawthorne. As more nobles pile into the courtyard, you also see Abraham Van Helsing and Joanna Harker, both many years younger and happier despite attending a funeral. Pietro eventually calls on the nobles to attend him, saying, "We gather today in memory of Teresa, my beloved wife." His voice thick with emotion. "She was unjustly killed 2 weeks hence, and truly my heart died with her. My name, Pietro Amadeus, means the rock of godly love. This is what I tried to be for her, yet now she is gone. No, from this day forth thou shalt be known by a new name, a single, simple name with no surname, a name meaning the Dark One's song. From this day forth, you shall know me as Dracula." You see him extend his hand and bathe the courtyard in deadly magic, scouring all of his guests. Even his parents were not exempt from the attack. Whoever was holding the unerring sphere drops it at this point, and the projected image continues to play from its perspective on the ground. A great rumble tears through the earth, and a fissure opens up. The unerring sphere rolls forward, causing your perspective to display a nauseating flash of color as it shows you the ground, then the sky, then the manor, then the ground again. Through a series of sound and color, you know that you are witnessing the estate collapse. And then the recording ends.
She just kind of frowns, and you can kind of tell that like it bothers her on a on a level of like.
You weren't able to
Empathy.
see it in detail, but you saw some of the people who were the nobles who were gathered here were members of your extended family.
Mm.
But it is very clear that especially since you haven't seen a single soul down here, that whatever happened here, the only people who survived were no doubt Abraham and the Harkers. And well, now the only survivors are the Harkers.
Yeah.
But the only place left would be southward, where you have a dining chamber that consists of several long wooden tables that seem to be in decent condition. Many of the chairs around the tables have not fared so well and are either splintered or rotted. A jumble of silverware is on the floor, along with remains of plates. Though there's also a side door leading to the grand kitchen. The kitchen is full of rats that scare you away from you when you come in. There is no, obviously for a place that's been abandoned for so long, there's no edible food left. The fireplaces are dark, having been unused for many years. And there's a staircase that would have once led to the food cellars, but due to the collapse, it instead goes down into a natural passage leading to hidden caverns. These caverns are a collection of air pockets in the ground that had become exposed after the collapse. By going down into these, you are able to find yourself in a uneven stone cavern. Where you see what looks like two ghosts. They don't seem to notice you. They just seem to be standing in a single spot and what looks like grieving. The ghosts that you see here they have the same appearance as what you assumed were Pietro's parents during that when you looked into that sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And through that area, there's a further passage that leads back to the room you saw upstairs that was clearly Pietro's bedroom. Which in which that after going into that, I believe I believe Varric wanted to head back to the astronomy room. No, I didn't want to drag the whole map. I wanted to just move you guys.
Well, it was related to
Hmm.
the fairy tale basically, because was the fairy tale also connected to like the stars? Is that what I heard earlier, or no?
There is a constellation that
Oh, okay.
is that has the name of that same story.
Hmm.
Which back up at the in that room you could if you wanted to if you wanted to see if you can find that constellation using the telescope as well as the star charts, that is going to be an astronomy check using awareness.
Okay. I don't have astronomy, so is it just awareness then?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. You're able to put things together and move the telescope where you think it would be. And as you do, you hear a click on the wall,
Oh.
revealing a hidden room.
Oh. Okay. Well.
Within that room, you do find what looks like several artifacts, but you can't tell from here what they are. You might have to have somebody look into them.
Um. Could I check for any traps of like removing these artifacts?
That's going to be an awareness roll.
Okay. Nope.
Unfortunately, it's not trapped.
Okay.
Uh, just write magic item with a quantity of 4 on your inventory.
Got it.
Uh, but after with the mansion thoroughly explored, you you do take your leave from it, heading back to Ice Point proper. which it did give the place did give you info on Dracula's origins,
Hmm.
but in terms of a weakness or something like that, you didn't get anything out of it.
Well, at least we got some cool magic items that may or may not hinder us. Or help
Mhm.
us. Wrong word.
Yep. Which le which leads us to obviously back into Ice Point proper. And the natural next point would be eastward towards the haunted forest. Though it is going to be one where you'd have to tread carefully, lest you deal with some of that massive army of demons that Dracula has at his beck and call. But let me move things over to the forest in question. And there should not be a grid there. I thought I fixed that. But the branches of this place interlock into a blanket of darkness. It's even by forest standards, it's a very dense area. But the gnarled branches of 1,000 trees beckon you closer. The empty hollows of 100 trunks watch you as you approach. The haunted forest stretches before you. The boughs of twisting, towering trees interlock into a blanket of dark, impenetrable by sunlight. The caw of crows, howl of wolves, and the whispers of the wind are somehow enticing, drawing you into the infinite void that stares back at you. Now, as far as progressing through the forest, I believe Varric and Aurelia, you have levels of magic power. Scarlet doesn't. Which one of you has... What's your respective magic power?
Oh. Where do I do that? I'm sorry.
Is that our source?
Yeah.
Divine.
Alright, so what's the ranking of it?
5.
Alright.
Primal and Occult 2 and 3.
Alright, in this case, Varric is going to be the designated leader. Because it especially is it especially draws the strongest spellcasters that are in it. So, I'd like you to roll a awareness check.
I also don't know. Mine's updated since we leveled up, so I don't think I changed it.
What is this pertaining to? Just curious.
If you're able to navigate deeper into the forest, or if you
Got it. So I could use navigating then, correct?
in this case, no.
Okay.
Oh,
well, I'll
damn.
take that.
So, eventually you find, through the twisted branches, the winding paths and oppressive darkness, you hear the faint playing of a lyre and flute. As you keep traversing, the playing grows and grows. You begin to see light peeking through the trees. You find a grandiose 3-story inn with multiple active chimneys. And I'm going to switch to something a little more apropos. Just sitting in the middle of the woods. Some of the higher rooms were clearly built after the main body of the inn, as they hang off the side of the building precariously. All the windows of the inn are boarded up, but light flows through the cracks. It's clearly occupied. Ah. At the front of this inn is a massive, polished oak door with an ornate knocker. Clearly the only way in or out. Next to the door frame, a shiny needle pokes through, apparently hooked to some contraption of glass tubes that runs between the boards of the nearest window. A sign next to the needle says, "Welcome, prick me."
I will go ahead and prick.
Mm-hmm. You just prick your finger on the needle, as a small bit of blood is taken through the glass tubes of the window. And then, with each one, the door opens, letting you enter on an individual basis. And then when it gets to Herbert, the door does not open at all. And in fact, Herbert, you notice that the needle is silver, and it does hurt you when when you prick it.
Good to know.
And you do hear a whimsical voice saying, no werewolves."
Is it just me that hears or everyone else?
Everyone hears it.
Nope.
I think this thing's faulty.
Aurelia just kind of rolls her eyes and looks at him and smiles.
Wait, you're a werewolf?
No. Definitely
Aurelia
not a
just
werewolf.
shakes her head and stretches. I don't know what that could be talking about. No werewolves here.
I'll discuss that later. I don't know what this contraption is, but we should be focused on whether or not we're setting ourselves as a trap or we might get information.
Those of you who are in the inn see that it's a well-kept and actually very spacious inn. So,
Is there people in here?
yes.
Okay.
But you hear that the same voice say to Herbert, "You can come in if you're confined."
I'm fine, yes.
Confined.
He's just gonna sigh and be like, very well.
As soon as you go in, you see a couple people escort you to what looks like a jail cell, locking the jail cell with a silver padlock, and then wrapping the bars in silver barbed wire. When you're ready to leave, you can leave. This is a precautionary measure just in case. You can't be too careful.
At least get a meal to enjoy while he's here.
Don't worry, that'll be provided. But as far as the inn itself, you see a large first floor that has a bar, a stage, a bunch of different tables, some couches, and a storeroom. The upstairs floors are where the rooms are. From where you're standing, you can see that the guests have potion laboratories or cauldrons or other magic workshops, which probably explains the multitude of chimneys you saw. But they do state that you can stay as long as you need, but once you're ready to go, you can go. I would advise waiting until morning to do any further traveling wherever you're going, strangers.
We appreciate that. Can you tell us more about the area?
It's hard to venture out much. Not just with the threats of the forest, as well as the fact that this place wants to keep sorcerers here. But there is a settlement a bit north, if you can reach it, called Red Rock. They might be a little more accommodating than us.
I certainly felt the pull of being drawn here. What causes that?
No one knows what draws people in. It just does.
Hmm.
It is just a quirk of this forest.
I see. How comfy did it look over at the jail cell?
Well, there's a
Pretty
there's a
comfy.
decent bed and decent accommodations. It's if it weren't for
3
the
meals.
bars separating the room, it would look like a decent room.
Okay.
Don't forget the
That-
3 meals.
Yeah, that's good. I was gonna, yeah. I was gonna be like, can we get him a little bit better room if it looked like crap? But no, that's good. Okay, cool, good. Um, yeah. Well, I guess. Well, since it's getting close to nightfall, yeah, probably would be safer to stay here for the night.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you all are set up in separate rooms. Just told, don't worry too much about the noise from the neighbors. Some of their experiments can get a little explosive.
Hmm.
Don't worry, nothing too big. Just a few puffs of smoke. But
Since there seems to be so much magic drawn here, is there anyone that could possibly appraise some magic items?
I think there's one who's decent at that, but they're probably asleep.
Oh. Well, try to hit them up in the morning then, I guess.
Yep. But as you head to respective rooms, ah, that is where we are going to cut it off for tonight. Or not tonight, today. I'm used to doing night streams. Ah. Also realize I need to move my model somewhat, but we will be back at this in about a week as you guys venture further into the forest and into, is it Frankenstein or Frankenstein? It's castle. Well, not so much a castle, more of a laboratory, but you get the point. And hopefully you guys don't get completely lost in the woods. Since, look, you're effectively walking into a Polish forest at night. Constant night.
Fun.
There's a reason why so many of those old fairy tales talk about haunted things in the woods. But I will hopefully be back here a bit later today, getting into more shenanigans with Maki. And of course, tomorrow will be the return of the Record of Swordforged Worlds. Where we're going to be delving into mechanics once again after spending a week talking about fluff. So there's certainly that to look forward to today. But until then, on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody.